There is no better word to describe the atmosphere at Los Angeles International Airport, LAX, that morning than one. Shaking. No, this is not the arrival of the head of state, nor is it a welcome for Nobel laureates. But look how the largest airport on the west coast of the United States was almost paralyzed by a sea of people just for one name, Kim Seokjin, better known to the world as the Jin of BTS. Is this just another celebration by pop music fans? Or are we witnessing a sociocultural phenomenon greater than mere entertainment? Never before has the airport witnessed a mass wave as massive as this for a South Korean artist. Even airport security appeared to be overwhelmed, calling in reinforcements from the local police just to manage the uncontrolled flow of people. The fans who had been waiting since the night before, some of whom had even arrived 2 days earlier, brought banners, spotlights, giant-sized posters, to portable loudspeakers. They sing BTS songs in different languages, creating an atmosphere like a stadium-scale concert. Only the stage is the door to international arrivals. But what is more astonishing is not just the number of fans, but the kind of enthusiasm they show. There were not only emotional screams or passionate waving of hands, but there were those who kowtowed to tears, hugged a photo of Jin while offering prayers, and even a fan dressed in full military clothes as a symbolic form of respect for the devotion of Jin, who had just completed his military service. This is not just a warm welcome. This is an emotional coronation. And the question becomes even more urgent. Why was Jin greeted like a national hero? Jin, the oldest member of BTS, is not a random artist. His figure is known for being calm, charismatic, and has an image of the ideal Korean man that is not only hailed in Asia, but has also begun to take root in Western pop culture. But how could a K-pop idol be greeted in the United States with the same fanfare of welcoming a soldier back from the battlefield? Is this a reflection of the influence of the media, or a new symptom of the globalization of Korean culture? The International Pop Culture Observer, Professor Laura Kim of the University of Southern California, even called this moment a new mirror of South Korea's soft diplomacy. In an exclusive interview, he confirmed that this welcome is not solely a form of love for celebrities, but is a collective expression of deep emotional attachment to the symbol of modern Korean nationalism. Jin's presence is not just an artist's presence. It becomes an extension of a new cultural identity that crosses borders, across languages, and across generations, he said. Videos circulating on social media showed crowds chanting Jin's name repeatedly in a military-like tone. Most fans wore Korean military attributes, carried flags, and even sprayed confetti as Jin appeared in the arrivals corridor. Jin's eyes were glazed, and the moment is now captured in thousands of cameras present at the scene. So, is all this natural and pure? Or is there another force playing its role secretly behind the scenes? This question is increasingly relevant amid growing doubts over the authenticity of the grandiose speeches that often occur in the global entertainment industry. Is it completely spontaneous? Or is there already a special coordination on the part of the management, agencies, or even the South Korean government as a cultural imaging strategy? Not a few also associate this event with Strategic Intelligence, HYB Corporation, the agency that houses BTS. It is common knowledge that HYB is known to be adept at designing narratives and publication momentum for her artists. But if indeed this welcome was engineered, then it was engineered with incredible emotional precision, because its impact was not only viral, but also touched the symbolic values of global society. However, precisely because of the depth of the emotional response that fans display, such conspiracy theories are difficult to take for granted. On site, international media crews from various countries were present, from Japan's NHK, CNN, to the BBC, each covering from their national point of view. It was trending globally within minutes, not just on Twitter, but also on Google, YouTube, and the world's major news platforms. Are we witnessing the rebirth of a global icon? Interestingly, Many observers noted a change in the narrative about BTS since Jin completed his mandatory military service. No longer just a phenomenal boy band, now they, and Jin in particular, are positioned as a symbol of honor, devotion, and national pride. This contrast becomes even more evident when LAX airports, which are usually sterile from this kind of emotional activity, turn into highly personal and political public spaces. Jin is not just a musician. It is now a narrative. It is an articulation of collective hope, solace for generations, and most importantly, a representation of Korea's rise in the world's cultural landscape. But in this intense emotional writing, skeptical voices also appeared. Is this not a form of unbridled fanaticism? Asked one of the music columnists of The Guardian. Does this still reflect respect, or is it a form of identity dependence on public figures? These are the questions that are now resonating in various online discussion forums, from Reddit to the academic community. We are also faced with a dilemma that increasingly blurs the line between entertainment and reality, between publication and sincerity, between fame and meaning. BTS's Jin, with his calmness almost like the epitome of discipline, walked through the crowd while occasionally waving and bending his arms. Gestures that were simple but felt monumental. In his presence, thousands of mobile phones immortalize those seconds that they consider sacred. Now that the dust has settled and flights are back to normal, the important question we must all ponder together is, does this kind of welcome reflect authentic love? Or is it social pressure to love? Is what we see at LAX a historical moment, or simply the biggest drama stage in the modern entertainment industry? But in the midst of that overwhelming emotional surge, one fundamental question arises that we must not ignore. Is everything we are witnessing really real? Was the welcome at LAX for BTS's Jin a genuine manifestation of the public's love? Or was it just a show systematically designed to create a viral effect and reestablish a global celebrity's post-enlistment market dominance? The fact that this event is spreading so quickly and widely through platforms such as TikTok, YouTube Shorts, to various live broadcasts on Twitter and Instagram should encourage us to be not only spectators, but also critical interpreters. Can the 15-second video footage depicting hysterical screams, emotional hugs, and cheering of the masses be fully valid evidence that Jin was greeted as befits a national hero? Or is it all just a small part of a big scenario that is edited, curated, and presented with visual precision in order to form a certain perception in the eyes of the public? It's true, social media has tremendous power in shaping mass opinion. But it is precisely because of that power that we must be more alert to possible manipulation of information. Do these videos reflect reality? Or are we trapped in a pre-planned narrative? Many of the viral footage came from unverified accounts, with selective shooting angles, deliberately dramatic narration, and even background music added to amplify the emotional effect. In today's digital world, reality can be created, and the false can seem more real than the truth. We are not in a position to say that these events are entirely fabrications. But it is important to convey that the sources of information we use come from various open media platforms. TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and Korean and international online news channels are the reference basis for this news. However, the validity, accuracy, and objectivity of such data still require a deeper verification process. This fact should make us not immediately swallow every narrative that goes viral on our cell phone screens. Was Jin really welcomed by thousands of people who came spontaneously without any coordination at all? Or is it the role of agencies, official fan bases, and media production teams that help set the flow of times, document every corner, and disseminate with modern digital marketing methods? A number of unofficial reports even mentioned that some of the main fan base received technical instructions a few days earlier, including assembly points, thematic dress codes, as well as song scripts and yells. If this is true, then we should ask, This speech belongs to the public, or rather belongs to the industry.